because so many people comes in, and Dato was just rushing in from the 988 webinar as well, interview as well. And right now, I believe that he is either on the way or already doing interview. I'm not too sure, but we are trying to catch him to fix a new time. Exact time, Jeremy still confirming with Dato. But while I'm here, maybe I can share some of the development during this COVID-19, what SME Malaysia have done. Now, since the first day of the MCO, the SME Malaysia has been going around different ministry. We have been going around to MOHR, Ministry of Human Resource. We went to Prime Minister Department for the economy. We went to MITI, and we went to the other agencies. And also yesterday, day before yesterday, we went to the Ministry of Finance as well. And there were a lot of the proposal went into the government from different associations. There will be FMM, ACCC, IM, and so forth. Now, there are many recommendations, including SME Malaysia. And the way that the government right now runs, from what we know over here, is that when we go to meet the minister or the top officers in the ministry, we can only give our feedback and recommendations. And with this feedback and recommendation, the top officers or the minister, they themselves will need to collate and to filter it before it is actually recommended to the MKN, which is the which is the Majlis Keselamatan Negara, which takes care of the country right now in this crisis. And with such process, a lot of the decision making was basically is very slow. And as I mentioned, there's so many associations, so many people recommending different kind of proposals. It takes time for them to actually process. Now, I know everyone have been very disappointed with the pre-hearting package. Same with myself. In my Facebook, I have actually highlighted how angry am I. Despite that, we have spent numerous engagement with the government. We do not know what are they thinking, but the only thing that we can do right now is not to say what the government has done wrong. We need to continue to engage them, no matter what. Whether they listen or not listen, we have to continue to engage them. And that is why that we run the survey. Because the government might see that, well, SME association, you say that these SMEs are saying this, SME is complaining that. It's not strong enough. So that's why that we have decided to run this survey, and to prove that it's actually the voice of the SMEs that is telling the government that we really need help right now, and we really need it now and not later. How it would be, we do not know. Very likely that this afternoon there will be announcement. I hope that it won't be delayed. We hope for the best. But since everyone is here, I think that some of you might have some questions. Who might want to ask something. If I can answer, I can answer. And I have been in MITI, visited MITI for the past 1 week to push for some of the essential goods manufacturers to operate. Some of them get it, some of them don't get it, with many reasons. If you all have any questions about that, I might be able to help to answer as well. Back to you, Jeremy, to facilitate the session while we arrange Dato to come in. Thank you.
Okay, right. I am currently awaiting for Dato to come in. I mean, he had not responded. I believe he's already in Bernama doing what he needs to do, because he got an interview, apparently a very sudden one with Bernama. Everyone is trying to get hold of information. What is happening now? He has responded. Okay. We are also trying to wait and see what else is happening for the day. Now, take a few things I think everyone would like to ask you. First and foremost, right? You were in the meeting with the government, okay?
Yep.
The government say. Did they respond anything when you presented the survey to them? Because the survey is a representation of us, SMEs in Malaysia. What was their response? What were some of the questions that they asked? Are we hoping for something good by the end of the day?
Okay. Now, after the survey result has came out, the same day, the cut-off time for the survey that we issue out the result is 12 o'clock on the 29th or 30th. I can't remember. I can't remember the days already right now. I can't even remember today's what day. Okay. There were 15,627 responses. And using that up-to-date information, Datuk has went to Ministry of Finance. I wasn't there because I was busy. I was busy issuing the press release. And together with Datuk, there were representatives from the MRCA, the ACCIM, and several associations as well. All the associations have highlighted their concern, and Datuk Michael has actually spent a bit of time to brief them about the survey on what all the SME is thinking. And Tengku Safro, the Minister of Finance, acknowledged. Together with him, there's Wee Ka Seong, and also Tokpa was also there. The Deputy Minister of the MITI was also there. So the key decision maker of the economy is there. I don't see Azmin is there, but is represented by the MITI Deputy Minister. So they have listened. Now, government always welcome association to tell them what's the industry happening right now. How would they react? We do not know. They have been asking questions of what should we do, what are the things that we should do best. But ultimately, what would they do? We really do not know. I think Datuk Michael will be able to give you a better insight. But what I have gotten from Datuk Michael is that it was very positive meeting, especially on the salary side. We have highlighted that the urgency for the government to look into how can we manage our employees and to reduce our costs, at least given the freedom for the employers to actually talk to the employees. And yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, I have if I read it well, it should be the official one coming from the MOHR. There's an official statement saying that the employers can talk to the employees, and as long as it's mutually agreed, a lot of things can happen. So we need to refer back to the statement that has been issued by MOHR yesterday. Jeremy. I can't hear you, Jeremy.
Can you just, based on
okay.
Based on your interaction with all the SMEs, I know financially, a lot of the SMEs' main concern at the moment is the inability to pay their bills. Okay.
Yep.
Do you have any idea why so many of the SMEs have not gone and applied for a loan? After all, the special relief fund facility is already there. Why have they not gone for it?
Okay, there are business reason as well as the practicality reason over here, practical reasons over here. If we talk about the business reason, now, SME, most SME is always cash tight, okay? and they might have already taken some loan from the banks already. And when they have already high loan amount, okay, and right now, despite that the interest is low, taking up additional loan is not a long-term strategy, but even if it's a short-term, they are very afraid that the ability to repay, because most of the SMEs have only confidence that they will get the sales after 6 months. Imagine that within these 6 months, you have no revenue. Yes, I can service the loan later, but I still need to pay all these employees and so forth. And I need to pay my supplier as well. And I cannot produce, and I do not know when can I produce. It puts the SME in a very high risk. Okay, that's on the business perspective. On the practical sense, is that right now, no one can go to the office. And when it was announced, or when the survey was done, the government have not actually announced that we can go back to the office. SME doesn't have all the documents in hand. Okay, they might have the documents with the accountant, they might have the documents with the company sec, but none of them have it soft copy with them. And the banks would need to have at least your audited accounts, your management accounts, your Form 49, your Form 9, and so forth. Many of them would not be able to produce that. So how are they going to apply? They can't apply. So that is the practical sense. And the other thing is that I gotten feedback from a lot of the SMEs, as well as from the bank as well directly, is that they prefer to give the loans back to their existing customers. Okay, existing loan customer. If you do not have any loan relationship with them before, you would not be the first that they will serve. Okay, you will not be the first that will serve. So they will only serve the existing customer, and that's why that a lot of the companies like mine, I never have a loan. Frankly, I never have a loan, and right now I need a loan. I go back to my bank. They said that you don't have a loan. I don't have a record, so we need to process it longer. So these are the issues that's coming all about that affected the number of the SMEs applying for the special relief fund. Jeremy.
Okay, right. Thank you for that. Actually, I'm reading some of the messages here. Messages here. So what some of the people are saying, right? That the hold on, just give me a second. I wanted to read out. Someone was saying, this is from PS Lee. PS Lee. It's challenging and potentially controversial. Who is essential services? Okay, because I think his company produces the packaging for medical gloves. However, they are stuck because they are not approved. And I know the medical glove producers are approved, but some of the medical glove producers are saying, I'm only approved for 50%. So you want us to produce for Malaysia, no problem, we got enough, but you want us to keep a pandemic from going very big because we are producing for the world. Well, we can't because we only have 50% staff. So what can we do here? Is there anything that the government is doing? Have they been highlighted on this?
Now, I would be able to explain this a bit because I have been in MITI for several days. Now, first of all, we need to know that the process first. Only the essential services manufacturers is to apply to MITI. MITI can only approve manufacturers. If you are services, distributors, retail, and so forth, you go to the KBDN HEP, which is the Consumer Affairs. Okay, let's talk about the manufacturers first. I don't think it is right to say that the packaging company is not being approved, because I personally helped some of the packaging companies gotten their application approved. Now, in the value chain, on a supply chain, let's say you are producing an essential goods and you need the packaging for you to actually put in your essential goods. Yes, it can be approved. If you have submitted before the 24th, they should be processing right now. If you should get your rejection letter, or you will be in a KIV because of your form, okay? And those after 24, you cannot submit anymore because there are still a number of thousands being processed over there. Now, to talk about the supply chain, some company argue, hey, I produce parts for the machines to manufacture the food, for example. So in the view of the MITI, you are producing the parts. The parts right now is not so essential. The manufacturing producing it is essential. Okay, the machines, they already gotten the machines already. If you are producing the machines right now, it's not that essential. That's how that they try to, how that they determine it. You see, same as can be the consumer affairs. If you are in the retail, if you're selling medical devices, selling medicine in let's say Guardian, it's okay. But the section of the shampoo, you need to close. Same, okay? Now, that is what is happening right now. And if you talk about why a lot of the companies being rejected, we have to know what is the reason of the rejection. Most of the application which I have experienced with the MITI is that the rejections comes in because that they actually put in more than 50% of the employees in their application. Now, they are some of the SMEs, we are very clever, okay? SMEs have always been very creative, okay? Now, they put in the application form, let's say if you have 100 employees, they put in the application form is 49 employees. Then they put in the lampiran A. Lampiran A, they put in as 100 employees. Why? Because they say that, hey, I want to take shift. Today, I will have 49 people coming out to work in the factory. Next day, the other 49 people come to work in the factory so that everyone can take turns. Fair enough. It makes business sense. However, it doesn't make sense for our MCO because if the MITI allowed that, meaning that 100% of the people are coming out to work. When 100% of people coming out to work, meaning that there will be no MCO at all. Everyone will be coming out to work. So it defeats the original purpose of the MCO. So we have to understand why the rejection, the reason for rejection. We have to understand. But I have to also qualify that there might be some of the companies who have applied using email. Okay, there are two ways. One is that apply in their system, and when the system down, they apply via email. So for MITI, definitely they will go to the system first. Those which is from the email, they need to actually extract it one by one. One by one, and many of them, the documentation is not complete. So these are the few reasons that why it's happening right now. I hope that I answer who's this the lady just now. Thank you.
What I wanted to add from that was I was just having a conversation with someone from FNN. FNN apparently is working, right? They are working, 50% that is. But one of the things that they did, as you can say, sometimes companies are the way we do things is like that. They actually, for one of their plants, they mentioned to me, they actually have Team A and a Team B. So they submitted Team A and Team B inside. Okay, Team A and Team B are supposed to do different things. And what happened was, basically, Team A got approved, Team B was not approved, and now they're also scratching their head. Okay.
Yes.
So, but we have online. Richard, I need you to identify yourself later on. Okay. Once I give you the go ahead. Richard is actually from the FMM, right?
Richard Pay.
Manufacturers Malaysia. Okay. So Richard, why don't you let us know from your perspective, because I know you are also helping out in the application of what is essential and what is non-essential.
Good afternoon to everyone. I'm Richard Pei here. I'm actually also the FMM Selangor branch subcommittee chairman for SMI. All right, just to update everyone, as at 30th March, 5:30 p.m., total application received by MITI is about 11,827 application, and total approved to operate is about 4,111. That's about 34.76%. And rejected one is about 3,495 companies that consist about 29.55%. And those in KIV, as what Keng-Tek has shared, probably it's because of the application, some of the documents are not complete. And maybe some of the application, there's some doubts in their information provided. That is about 2,333 companies, which consists of 19.73%. And those companies that have in the essential list is about 38 companies. I think is pending for approval. All right, it's about 0.32%. And those companies that are still under process is about 1,850 companies. All right, so basically, like what Keng-Tek has shared just now, those companies that falls under the essential service and its supply chain as well. All right, those relating to the essential service that you're supporting company, I hope that you can discuss with your customer to get the letter from them as well as the approval, and resubmit again to MITI. All right, you resubmit again to MITI so that they will reconsider your application again. All right, so you may go through either from SME side and as well as to FMM, if you're FMM members, that we can help you to submit in. All right, so that is basically what I can share with you.
Okay, thank you, Richard. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to keep you online. If you can ask with any questions, please do. Right?
Okay.
Now, what I've also been asked, I'm just reading things off from the chat group. Okay, right? Now, anyone here, okay, both of you, Richard and also Keng-Tek, do you have any idea whether, first, I think most important question, based on your understanding at the moment, is the government thinking of extending the lockdown because there's news that the lockdown is going to be extended, number one, and if it's, whatever it is, when do you see some sunshine happening, okay? Because we know after the lockdown, first day of work is going to be, well, may not be very pleasant for many people. For those of you who are on this webinar at the moment, please know that at 2:30, I'm actually having another webinar, right? And this is on post-COVID, right? Well, is there, basically, I like to summarize it in this way. Is there actually work to go back to? Okay, so I'm actually having 3 individuals there from Marsing, which is, our property developer. I also have Dina from FNN, and I also have the regional director for Pesto Kelly, which is the consulting arm of Kelly Services. And this person travels around the whole region. Okay, so that's what we are having. But in terms of you two, your perspective, okay, what do you think of the extension? Number one, will it happen? Number two, when do you think there will be sunshine again? Okay, let's start with Keng-Tek.
Okay, now, whether there will be an extension, in my personal opinion, I would think that it will be definite extension. Looking at the numbers right now, it has not gone down. The purpose of the MCO is to separate people so that less and lesser people interact with each other. But looking at the figures, 100 over every day, I don't think that we are doing enough to lock down ourselves, to stay at home, and it would surely be extended, because if we don't extend, things will only get worse. So that is answer number one. Whether there will be sunshine or not, I can only say that after 3 months, you can see some sunlight with a lot of clouds. But if you really want to see sunshine, I would say that minimum of 6 months. Okay, minimum of 6 months to see some sunshine. And from the survey, it has been mentioned that more than half of them would only be confident that the so-called sunshine, the business as usual, will only come back after 9 months. And I just received a comment from an auditing firm saying that a lot of the clients are calling them and says that they're getting ready to issue a lot of letters, okay? Letters for the employees and letters to see how do they want to wind up their businesses. So this is already in planning for a lot of SMEs, is already in their mind already. Maybe not for the big manufacturing companies under FMM, but a lot of the more to the micro and small SMEs, many of them are already contacting their accounting firm or the company side to get ready for that. Thank you, Jeremy.
Okay, on my part, I do agree with what King Tek has shared. I think it's kind of hard to say, but I think majority of us have a feeling that it might be extended looking at the figures at this point of time. The cases every day is still not down yet. It is still maintaining about 100 plus. So quite high possibility it might extend to until end of April. And that's what King Tek has shared, whether we see some lights. I would say that is kind of difficult to judge, but I don't think so soon. It's because that you can see the biggest chase is actually coming from Europe and US market, right? So if that demand does not pick up, as what we have listened to some manufacturer in China, they don't see any, maybe to sustain their own local demand, yes, but not international. That means the export will be down. So I would say it probably might take easily more than 6 months to see the, I would say the business will start to move on.
Jeremy, I would like to add on another concern as well. Yesterday I have a long web chat with some Chamber of Commerce, which is the German Chamber of Commerce and also European Chamber of Commerce. They have highlighted to me that they are very, very, very concerned because number one, because of this MCO, a lot of their investment company are still not able to operate, and they do not know how long can they withstand. Even with their investment, they do not know how long can they withstand the situation. And they are more worried. Why they contact me is because that they are more worried of Malaysia economy as a whole. Why? Because these foreign companies, where do they get their supply from? They get their supply from most of the SMEs over here. If this investment company or this foreign investment just have a flu and sneeze, many of us in the SMEs will be largely affected. That's the greatest fear of all. That's why that we still continue to have to find a ways to I do not know, I should not use this word, but I'm going to use it anyway. Some people would not like it, the government will not like it, but we need to really knock them and wake them up, the government, that we really, really need this. It's no time to delay anymore. If the government can come in right now, we might still be able to reduce, not to eliminate, reduce the number of the SMEs who close down. But if the help comes in 1 week after or 2 weeks after, I can strongly say that the number of the SMEs closing down will be tremendously high. That's my perspective. I can't hear you, Jeremy.
Jerry, your mic
Yes.
is muted.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, everyone, it just sounds as though it's very, very grim from the two gentlemen here. So what I'm going to do is just take a break by giving everyone a poll, okay? This poll is on your financial standing. There's 100 of us in the room here. Let's just see what you say, okay? I'm going to launch the poll now. Please very quickly fill it up, Where are you?
Okay, while you're filled it up, I think that I can answer some of the questions in the chat group. Alvin Tan says that we are a technical service provider for bakery equipment, which are considered essential services. However, as I'm not a manufacturer, I need to go to KPDNHEP. I emailed them, but there's no response. Now, it's a very common comment over here. I have not been engaged with the KPDNHEP, but right now they also have a team station at MITI, so that if any questions go to MITI, MITI cannot answer, they are there to answer. That's for one. Number two, what I can suggest to you is that since you are servicing the manufacturer, okay, get the manufacturer who have gotten the approval from MITI to issue you a letter, meaning that MITI issue the manufacturer a letter to operate, and the manufacturer to issue you a letter saying that you are their service provider and it is essential for you to service them. So together with the MITI letter and the letter from the company, then they should be able to minimize your commuting from one area to another area. That would be my recommendation at this moment, pending the your feedback from the consumer affairs side. So that's my recommendation. I'm not from the government, but that is my recommendation. The most practical things to do.
Okay. All right, everyone. At long last, and thank you very much, Dato' Michael, for being very patient with us. I know it has been a very stressful day for you, running up and down, and also you have been very patient with us over the phone, right? I'm just going to pass it to you to make a few comments, right? For those of you who do not know, Dato' Michael Kang, who is the president of the SME Association Malaysia, is with us now. Finally, after more than an hour, right? I'd just like him to say a few words, okay? So, going to you.
Okay, hi everyone. I think very sorry because I tried to log in, use my handphone. I think I'm not sure, there's a problem for connections. Finally, I'm using PC and notebook to log in. I managed to get in now. I think don't worry, if you have any question, you just ask, whatever we can assist. I think Yap is able to answer some of the questions. If not, you just post out a question. We try to answer as many as possible, I think I just heard what Yap answer about the KBN HDB. I already communicate with the KSU. I think he told me he will get his officers to speed up the whole process. I try to arrange a day to go and meet up with the KSU and see how to go about. Whoever need to apply the KBN HDB, please provide your name. Company name will do. This is what the officer requests, so that they will process from there.
Okay. Dato', right? Just before I go to a question for you, everyone, right? Can you please do this, right? Can you please make sure your videos are on? This is a request that I made. At least the speakers know who is here and they can see your face and things like that. Please make sure your face is on. I mean, your video is on. Now, the other thing, Dato', I just want to ask you, and this was a question King Tek left for you. But before that, Richard Pei from FMM is also here. He's also
okay, sure.
Because he shared a few things with us just now.
Sure.
But Dato', key question here.
Yeah.
After we presented the survey from all the SME respondents to the government, what was the response of the government in that meeting?
Okay, I think I have been meet up with the ministers. I think quite a few ministers. I meet up with them. they're very positive. They told me they're going to revisit the similar package too. Yesterday, I was working with the EPU until late evening to prepare the paper for today cabinet meeting. I think cabinet they put the SME papers to be the first priority. Focus on SME papers. I think we hope that there's a good news going to be announced later on. Let's wait for it. I think governments are very serious. Look into the SME problem and be willing to help the SME to solve. If we can help the SME, I think we also can help the Malaysian, because if our SME collapse, I think all the employee also facing the issue. We were jobless. I think this is a big issue for the country. Don't worry, this is something on government are working on it to assist the SME, especially on the cash flow side.
Mm-hmm. So, Dato', what is the main thing that I think will be helpful for all? But what's the main thing that many of the SME owners are calling you, telling you, sir, that one thing that you can do? What would this one thing be? You know?
I think the most important is what the SME owner looking at the cash flow. They would like to government to assist on the cash flow issue. I think you can see the survey, majority of SME, their cash on hand is limited. They almost dry out their cash if they're paying this month, last month they paid the salary and all the expenditures. I think most of the 30% of SME are running out of cash on hand. So government are seriously looking into it, how to subsidy the salary and also defer some of the statutory payment, and also reduce also the maybe utility charges as well. This government are preparing on it, and also quite numbers of things we have been discussed in the pipeline, like how to help the overall, because SME are very wide, about millions in the country. They're from micro, small, and mediums. Micro, there's also some registered, some non-registered. So how to make SME easier to claim the subsidy from the government. Even we also suggest that micro, maybe they do not need to produce any document as long as they produce the business license. You know, there is a lump sum. Government was to help them to subsidy. This is the ideas. Hope the cabinet approve on that. But from others, small, they also need to, because you know the government bureaucracy, they have a lot of document requests. So we discussed that we try to remove all the hurdles, you know, which government can assist without any producing any document, but it's a bit difficult. But I think minimize the document, minimize the process of the loan or grant. We call grant application. I think this is the way. This is what we have discussed. I think those. I think today even the cabinet approved. I think the officer had to work it up the whole application process as well. So let wait for it. You know, hopefully there's a good news.
Dato', we did a short poll just now, a very short poll, and I'm putting up the result there, right? It says here that 15% of the people who said that their cash flow is already negative. That means as per now, it's negative. 61% say it's less than 3 months. So if they pay the salaries of last month, which is March, it could be potentially down to 2 months. Okay.
Yes.
What is your main recommendation for these people now? Because they really need the cash. And as far as we know, the government is still saying we need to pay our employees at the full salary. And if the prediction, unfortunately, is right, we will be extended all the way to May. So what is your recommendation for these SMEs?
I think my recommendation for all the SME, you all have to play your own part. You know, go and negotiate with your landlord. Go and negotiate with your staff first to get prepared, to get ready. You know, to minimize your expenses. You know, and wait for the government. All this before that hand, you have to do all this first. You know, wait for the government announcement so that to cut down your unnecessary expenses. You know, this is the main ideas. You know, then try to maximize your cash on hand. You know, if those can go to mortgage, if you have own property, you can remortgage, go ahead and remortgage, talk to your banker, to seeing a banker assistant, how you can maximize your cash on hand for surviving. I think this is very important. The next is looking how to generate income. Those who can help your company to generate income, those portion, focus on that and go try to venture into online. Change your mindset. Don't still fix on your own mindset, you know, to move into the online digitals, you know. If you can go online, please go online, provide your service, provide your online your products online, and learn how to go about. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm also discussing with the MDEC to provide the solution, how to assist all the SME to move into the online, you know, to provide the service and products.
Okay.
Jeremy, can I add on that?
Richard? Yes,
Yeah.
yes, please do. Yes.
Yeah. Now, with your question, for the immediate time, since the cash is no longer available for a lot, I think some of the suggestions when I discussed with some of the accounting firm and some of the SMEs, I would just like to share some of the possible things that we can do. Number one, we don't expect our business to come back as usual within these 3 months or 6 months. Now, let's say we have 10 employees. I would recommend that as an SME, we should actually be proactive as a very good leader and explain to them the situation and tell them that what is happening to get their support, not to actually get them into fear that they will lose their job. By doing so, a possible thing is that, let's say, for example, in a week, there are 5 days a week. Maybe we will consider to reduce the working days for our employees. You just come in for 3 days a week, and then your salary would be reduced in terms of 30 or 40%, something like that. Because it can only make sense to do that because you don't see that there will be much business that will be coming in. Okay, they'll be coming in. There won't be a lot of things to do. Then you keep them, it's very tough. So at least that we can keep the employees with us and not let them go out. What I fear of that a lot of SME would just take the step that I cannot afford you anymore. Sorry, retrench. I give you a letter. When they go out, I can tell you that tomorrow they will be your competitor. Please don't do that. Try as much as possible to keep your employee so that they would fight with you. If you can protect them now, they will protect you later. I would think that that would be the one of the things that we SMEs have to take responsible to take care of our team members. Thank you, Jeremy.
Okay, right. Thank you, King Tek. Dato, because you're with the government, and this is a question that I posed earlier to both King Tek and also Richard. Do you see the MCO extending? And based on feedback from them, when do they think this thing will be like back to business as usual? What is their estimate of time?
Okay, I think we don't need to wait for see what the government will respond. We look at the country like the China, Italy, and others, neighbor, all these in the worldwide countries. I think the MCO definitely extended. You know, you had to prepare. All the SME must prepare. I think it will be the best you can prepare, targeted end of May, or it may be early, maybe middle of June. I think this is, you can foresee. I don't think we can cure, we can control the disease, this virus, you know, by end of April. You can see the way the numbers is growing. For last one whole week, I think all 3 digit, you know, 100 average of 150 people was affected. You know, I think it's going on. Continue. I think definitely it was extended even by May. It was not able to control it. I think that's why government are putting in effort. The people, I think, I hope that Malaysian or everyone should take, stay at home, should not simply go out. Everyone, you can see a lot of people still on the road, still traveling here and there. I think this is the problem, so it will prolong the whole CMO. Definitely, if our people in the Malaysia do not cooperative enough.
So, if you don't mind me asking, Dato', I know I may be putting you in a bit of a spot for this.
Don't worry. Yeah. Go ahead.
What is the initiative by SME Malaysia, Association Malaysia, to help all the members? What are some of the things that you all do?
Okay, I think for us, I really negotiate with the government, so to let those SME who are doing export, can continue to operate, but with minimum operation to fulfill the orders, because Malaysia SME also one of the worldwide supply chain. So if we stop produce or if we stop supplying the part to the world, then I think will be affected the whole world supply chain as well. So, but for us, we also need to import also numbers of raw materials. That's why government also agreed that allow those raw materials to be imported, so that manufacturing can continue their production, but with the minimum, they must follow KKM instruction to do the measurement of the employee. So all this we are talking about. So that's why I say that the SME can move into digital. We have also discussed with the government. Government also agreed that allow all the e-commerce continue to operate. Those who venture into e-commerce now, sell the products or service online, you are allowed to do that, because the government will allow all the SME to generate some cash for their business, to sustain their business.
Okay, all right. Now, thank you very much. Now, let me give Dato' a break by asking Ting Teh.
Yes.
How do you manage to get 15,000 responses in such a short period of time? What were some of the things that were done? Right?
Frankly, when I discussed the survey with Dato', it was about, on that day, it was about 4 something. Then immediately 6 o'clock, we actually launched the survey. It was a very, very short time. And frankly, I was only targeting about 2,000. And what we have done is that SME Malaysia has a huge pool of the members, and also is in connection with a lot of associated associations. And with our friends in our WhatsApp and so forth, all of our council members actually go into their phone book one by one, sending it out to their friends to spread it out. And by 12 o'clock midnight, which is about 5 hours, we have reached 10,000. It was really, really surprising to me, 10,000. And the next day, because that we want to issue a press release, and that took me to go to the Ministry of the Finance, we actually picked the data as at 12 p.m., which is the 15,627. Okay. However, we let the survey goes on after that. And actually, we have approximately about 19,000 plus of responses. And I believe that it's not so much of what I have done. I believe it's much more that the SMEs wanted to voice out, and they cannot find any way, any fastest way to voice out. And this is the best platform, and the questions has been said is something that is deep into their heart, and they really, really want to voice out. And I really thank you for all the participations and make the SME heard by the government.
Okay. Right. Thank you very much, sir.
Yep.
Right. What I'll do is just run a very quick poll here, just so that everyone has an idea. This question is regarding the MCO. I've launched the survey, so please have a quick click. Right. The MCO is lifted for my business. What will it be? Business as usual? Do you think you'll be scaling down 50%, 70%, or do you think your business will be closed? Okay. So that is the situation. Now, for anyone who wants to ask questions, we are allowing you to ask questions, not just through the comments. You can also ask questions by raising your hand, and either Ken or myself will unmute you. So all you need to do is type yes, not type yes, but go to the participant section, just click yes, and we will allow you to ask a question, okay? So let this be interactive. I know some of you have gone in and out of this session for the last few moments already, times already. So this is probably an opportunity for you to ask questions. Now please note, representing SME Association is King Tek and also Dr. Michael. And also we have someone from FMM here. His name is Richard, who is Selangor. So anyone, question? Okay. Looking for it. And I will launch the survey, the poll result back to everybody in the next few moments. Okay. Waiting for everyone to share first. Huh? Okay. Now, okay. And the polling, right? I'm going to share the results. Okay. Okay, in the next few moments. Now, I'm going to share the results now. Just for you, everyone can see the results. So about 26% say business as usual. 15% say it got scaled up by 30, 50. The majority of people say by at least 50%, right? 2% here says, 1% says business will be closing down. That means the vast majority of us say that we expect our business to be going down by at least 50%. Okay? By at least 50%. So that's the situation here. Now, gentlemen, okay, gentlemen, really I really want to ask this question. If you can tell us what can we really expect today? I mean, whatever it is, what we are saying here is there will be certain companies that will scale down significantly, right? So what is some of your advice that you can give us? One, or what do you think the best thing that government can do for us now? So if there's any recommendation that is given to the government, the best thing that you feel really the government must do for us, yes, from a financial perspective, but is there any other thing that they can really do? Like some of them are saying, you know, using our SST help, we're deferring our tax help. Do you think, like Singapore, Denmark, they will actually subsidize our transport? Right? Anyone would like to answer?
I'll let Datuk to answer that first.
Yeah. Why you want to answer?
Yeah, will they actually subsidize our staff force?
Subsidize what?
Will the government like Singapore and also
we did discuss the government to subsidize on the wages, which include rentals and expenditures. That's why I mentioned we are discussing the like micro, because they cannot produce any documents. Because you ask micro can produce our document, I think this is havoc for them. This is a nightmare for them. So we are discussing, like we calculate maybe below 5 staff, and then their average monthly salary, how much estimated, we just estimate their rental plus their expenditures like utility payment. So then maybe government will share the subsidy, a lump sum. Let's say the expenditure 10,000, then government might subsidy 5,000 a month, you know, for minimum 3 months. This is something formula. This is a formula we have been discussed, but yet to confirm, because I have not received any decision from cabinet this morning. I'm still waiting for the cabinet to do the announcement. Something like that. These are models of the subsidy we are discussing.
So all these government subsidies of salaries have actually been discussed. I think, right? You think you will be scanned.
Okay. Datuk mentioned about the salary side. For me, I'm more concerned in terms of the supply chain. Okay. The supply chain right now is not as smooth as possible. What I actually would expect, things can happen, and it's not that tough for government to implement, is the coordination between the ministry. Because at this moment, different ministries are giving out different kind of instructions, FAQ, but it's never been integrated. I'm not sure what is happening, but frankly, I don't think the ministers themselves have an experience to manage this because they are new. most of the issues right now is managed by the KSU, and the KSU sitting down together to look at the operational issues. For me, no matter what the government given us, actually stimulus package or any subsidies and so forth, the question still comes by, how can I apply, whether I am eligible, and what is the definition of your terms? It is always unsure. And always it is the ministerial level that says that we will give down this money, but operationally in the ministry or agency, they themselves do not know how to process. And if they do not know how to process, we cannot get them. Even if the government announced today that they are going to subsidize 50%, how are you to get the money? How fast can we get the money? That is my issue. Okay, so that is the things that Dato has always been talking to the minister side to get to pressure them, and I have always been talking to the operational side to get the process smoothen out. So that is my concern.
Okay, Richard, any comments on your side? Richard, okay.
Okay, I saw one question that mentioned regarding besides federal government assistance, what and which state government are offering assistance separately. Today, I think, today actually at about 3 o'clock, I think our chief minister will announce from for Selangor side. All right, there's actually another package for Selangor, so maybe you all can tune in. I think it will be shared live in the Facebook. All right, I think at 3 o'clock today.
Okay.
Right, and basically I do agree what Dato and Kek has mentioned. All right, it's about sustainability of the company at this point of time. So everyone will have to go through the cost of operation and see how we are able to reduce. Some of them, they said they might need to discuss with their employees, their rentals, their bankers, and see how we are able to reduce the cost in order that we can sustain a longer period. So that when things are coming back, I don't believe in, I will say, releasing all the staff, but you may actually look into releasing some of the contract workers at this point of time and maintaining some of the key people, right? Because you still need to operate unless you say that, oh, I really cannot stand anymore and I have to give up. But hopefully not now. All right.
So now, the various, I mean, I know the various state government will be hopefully coming up with an announcement soon on how they can help. But let us be frank here, okay, gentlemen. If for some reason there will be unemployment, okay, that means we need to lay off our staff and things like that. Do you know what are the avenues available to these unemployed staff? So that at least as business owners, we can tell them, hey, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow colleagues, we need to lay off. What is available? Okay. Any one of you got any idea what is available out there? Where can they go for, well, basically some subsidies or grants or something like that?
Okay, I may share that for any company that need to lay off, they have to go through the actual procedure. All right, applying the from the I think Ministry of Human Resource. All right, and they cannot just lay off like that. They have to apply. All right, and once they have the numbers,
who exactly?
Sorry.
Apply to who exactly?
Ministry of Human Resource.
Have to be direct to the ministry.
Yeah. And what they need is that once it's approved the numbers, these people, I think they have to register in this PERCASO. All right, PERCASO will actually also have one program that not all industries are bad. Some industry, example, the food manufacturing, the medical supplies, I think they still need a lot of people at this point in time because they have to ramp up their production. Right, these people may need more resources when I would say as you can see now, the worst case is happening in other countries, and they are demanding a lot of supplies, and the supplies are quite limited. Right, so we can shift the workers to this area of business segment. That's my point of view.
Okay. Right. What about Keng Teck and Dato? Any comments?
No, I have no comments in terms of that. I just sees that right now, we have been always asking for government help, and I don't think we should spend 80% of our time looking into the TV, looking into the web, and waiting for what the government going to announce. We should spend 80% of the time engaging our employee right now, and there's no time to waste. We need to do our strategic planning in order to see how can we change our business model. Everything changed. It's a level playing field right now. For example, for me, I have before the MCO, I have agreed to recruit a fresh grad, and I told him that I will continue to recruit him despite that my company is also in difficult. I don't think anyone is going to do a lot of branding and marketing in these 6 months. But there's, as the Chinese says, okay, when there is there's a threat, there's an opportunity. So which route do we want to take? Do we want to take the route of just waiting for the government to help us and just wait for the coconut to fall? Or we going to move forward and seek opportunity? And since a lot of people are not moving as aggressive, and if you right now be more aggressive to move out to market to engage your existing customer and new customer, you might win the market for you. And as I said, right now it's a level playing field. No one is stronger than you. Everyone is the same right now. And even your bigger competitor before, they are in bigger deep shit than you. So it's a time for you to actually go all out. I think that in Malaysia, our entrepreneurship spirit is very, very strong. And I strongly believe that we can go through this. For example, we can actually gather ourselves. Like right now, we have 100 people over here. Let's set up a group that I can sell to you and you can sell to me. Let's continue to do business without waiting for anything to happen. And we can actually book out. If you have something that can offer to me, I would actually agree that I can get something from someone else. And we would have a future business for the next 3 months. Let's not wait for anything to happen. That's my thoughts.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Dr. Michael, anything to add?
I think that this is not very important, like what can they say, don't sit down and wait, what government can give. You have to do yourself, prepare yourself. That's why you seriously think about your own business. It's not 1 or 2 months issue. I think this is at least minimum 6 months to a year. The IMF already announced, declare the world recession. So already there. So I think SME to be prepared to face the recession, economy downturn. Not only COVID affected, I think the economy definitely will be affected for next 1 whole year or maybe even 2. I think this round is double impact to the SME. So SME had to really seriously sit down and manage your own business, think about your own business, what is the direction to go. And for association, what we can help is this much, to negotiate with government, to ask government to provide a better policy to get the SME to move forward, to assist whatever. I think those who are definitely, there is also at least a certain percentage of SME will close down, will face a difficulty. Try it, even you want to close down, please do it earlier, or don't wait until your creditors sue you, end up you bankrupt. I think the time is worse. You can't even start the business at all because when you are bankruptcy.
Okay, right. Very good advice. Very good advice from all of you. I've been seeing this question popping up in the comment section. What's happened is, yes, the government had allowed the moratorium for banks, but a lot of us in SME, sometimes we don't do hire purchase from banks. Right? This has come out a few times. We actually do it for people like Auric leasing, even some of the people I mentioned, BMW credit, right? Because some of these are my clients as well. So is there any possibility of, like myself, some of my computers that I get are leased. So I will still need to pay for all these computers that I lease from this leasing company. So is there any chance of getting a moratorium from them, right?
don't worry, because when I already meet up to talk to Minister of Finance, he picked up this topic because he forgot, because the bank Negara only deal with the financial institute, because this leasing company, all those are under different ministry, under KPKT and domestic trade. So
Yes.
they're going to discuss the minister. Even I already personally WhatsApp the domestic trade KSU, ask him to look into it. I think they are working on it. Should be hopefully there's some good news from these two ministries.
Right, good, good, good. I mean, I think that at least that has been discussed. That's good news from all of us. Now, for everyone here, right? Like it or not, there will be an end to the MCO. After that, well, it will be back to business. Business will be, we do not know. What is one key skill or key skills that every one of us here needs to pick up as quickly as possible in this current situation, so that we will be able to, well, as the Chinese say, one sec, okay? So how do we, one sec means, look for a living. So what is one key skill that you feel we all must have and must learn very fast? Right. Anyone would like to start?
Can you repeat that again?
What is one key skill you would recommend all of us to pick up? Okay, this is over, so that we can one sec better, faster. Whether I'm a business owner or I'm a business employee, right? Let us know. If you're an employee, pick up the skill. If you're a business owner, pick up the skill. It is a must do. Okay, must do to survive.
Can I start first?
Yes, go. Right.
Now, nothing to do with my profession and my business, but I still think that this is a must do. Right now in this situation, everyone can produce. They are ample of the human resource, because a lot of people will be retrenching. The must skill to learn is the marketing skill. It is how do you going to market at these difficult times? How can you change the way that you sell, change the way that attract people to come to you? Because if you don't do that, people don't feel the urgency to actually buy from you. Even you have the best product in the market, I don't think that you will be able to survive. And everyone will be doing a lot of different ways of marketing already. If we still focus on only on the production, I don't think a lot of SMEs will survive. So please pick up the marketing skill. Hopefully, I can actually do more in terms of sharing, in terms of the marketing and branding as well to everyone. Hopefully. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Richard? Anything?
Yeah, I do agree with what King Tek has said. It's how we differentiate ourselves from the rest. And also don't to rely on the support from the government at this point of time, right? And re-look into the operation costs and see how we can actually study how to, I would say, re-evaluate the cost structure, I would say, right? For those manufacturers, but I think it's a bit tough for those that in retail side. And I think the only way is like what Dato has mentioned. Maybe they can move into this e-commerce way of doing their retail business. So be positive, like what Ken Tek has mentioned. Look for other means of option to how to sell your product, make yourself known. All right, what you can provide to the market. I think we need to create a platform, maybe through like what you mentioned, SME side.
It's something that all of us can help in, right? Dato, anything?
I think yes, this is very true. Don't wait anymore. That's why I just also mentioned I will discuss with the MDEC tomorrow. See how we can work with cooperate with MDEC to provide a platform for all the SME to use to participate and start doing a business. I think this round not only wind out some company. I think the whole business, the way of doing business will be changed. I think totally changed. You can see the experience during China SARS time. That's why e-commerce China, e-commerce coming out, Alibaba came out during SARS. That's why the whole change, the whole models of the way of doing business are changing. So I hope all the SME can change their mindset, to adopt, time to adopt the e-commerce now, because SME Corp did a survey last week. They asked during this MCO time, how many percent of SME are using e-commerce to run business? Can you guess how many? Yes, only 6%. So it's very, very low. I think we hope that this figure, can go up to 50%. Then the SME in Malaysia should be able to survive, pass through this turbulence. Yeah.
Okay, right, gentlemen, this came in through one of my WhatsApp. And I think this person, her name is Betsy. Betsy actually works in the retail industry. I think that's probably one of the most badly affected in many, many ways, because they were one of the first few. Now, her question is, as the business owner, what is something that she can say to her staff to make sure that they feel everything is okay, right? So what will your recommendation be for her? Because as we know, retail is very badly affected. Already, they didn't have that fantastic sales even in December. December, it started slowing down. November, December was kind of slow. So by the time this thing hit, it's probably already down for like 3-4 months already. And now this is totally closed. A lot of the staff are sitting down at home. You can't actually do work from home if you're doing retail. So what would be some of the suggestions here? And if there is any suggestion that was given specifically to the government or state government on retail, please kindly share with us. Okay, right. Let's start with anyone, right, gentlemen?
Okay. Now, in SME, managing people is the most difficult part. Okay, because it's not only about transaction. We are dealing with human beings, and people have feelings. In my opinion, if you're in the retail and you have a lot of the staff, okay, there might be chances that we cannot keep all, but we need to actually identify those that have the passion towards your company. I don't know. I always say that there is a possibility of telling them that, well, we are in very difficult shape right now, you all know, and we might have difficulty in paying salary. If you are willing to, we will continue to work together and work even harder for the future. You take a little bit of pay cut right now, and in the event, if we can weather the storm later on, this pay cut will come back to you later on. That's number one. Number two, if that employee is in your middle management, if you can offer them some profit sharing or shareholding by pulling them in as that, well, come in, okay, if you believe in this business, if you believe in this company, let's work together and make it successful for the future. And we share the growth and success. If the employee does not think the same way as you, then, well, there's no point of keeping, because they are not that, they won't go along with you. If the employee is willing to go far with you and they're willing to take up that offer, and this would be the time for you to get the employees to work 1000% harder for you to make things work for you. Because as an entrepreneur, as an SME entrepreneur, we always are by ourselves. We are very lonely. We want to get our middle management up the bar to actually fight the war together with us, but unable to. But this is a time that we have the opportunity to tell the staff that if you are willing to play the game with us, we can share our success. That's my recommendation.
Fantastic. Right, Richard, anything?
Actually, I do agree what I think this is a part of the proposal by the association to their members as well. All right, in relook into your staff and see who you think that some of them, the options that are working there as mentioned, offer them certain like share, even though now currently let them understand the situation of the entire market. and how can we pull through together this storm. I think the staff also has been with you for a certain time, and sometimes you have to go personal with them, let them understand the entire situation, and see how they can work together to pull out this storm. Like one of the proposal King has shared offers them some profit sharing, right? As one of the way.
Okay. Dato', Dato', do you know whether there's been any suggestion given specifically for those of them in the retail industry to help them out? Because I know some of the big, what we call it, shopping malls have said, okay, fine, we will not be collecting rental for the next few months. You know, they have done that. But from the government side or from any other side, is there anything else that can be of assistance to these individuals?
No, for the government side, I think whatever assistance request, I think we already put in all the proposals. I will include the government's buildings. They try to waive all the rentals for next few months. They have been discussing, like even Petronas. KLCC belongs to Petronas. They also negotiate with the Petronas, see how to reduce. So all this are working on in the pipelines, but that's why we're waiting for the government to come back. What kind of assistance they can give. I think still the best, still SME themselves. They have to prepare themselves to get themselves ready to face the challenges. If they don't do it, I think they are the one who definitely find out for next 2 months. You have to do something on it. If you love your business, if you think that your business is viable, is able to generate fortune for you, I think you should focus it. Even you can see your business is growing, is profitable business in the next coming 2 years. You should find a way to keep your staff, keep your business running, and to find as much cash on hand as possible. This is the best time. Even you can use your own property to go and negotiate with the bank, see whether can get some cash out or not, and also at least to sustain your business. This is most important. If you feel that your business is not viable, then don't do it. Don't go ahead, because this will be make yourself into the more difficulty.
Yeah. I think that's very good advice, It's time for us to really, if you're a business owner, to think whether your business is viable, because you are not going to be with this the moment MCO is lifted. For many of us, even when MCO is lifted, you may be able to, if you're a manufacturer, you may have something to sell, you may want to sell something, you may be able to produce something. Unfortunately, there may not be available. Okay, so please look. And then one of the key things that I've been telling people, we are a training provider, and also we have a lot of companies with advisory work as well. We have been informing all leaders, okay, please look at things strategically. Not the time to be gung-ho about things. Right, it is time to actually take stock of whatever you have, because we may be sitting with not much income coming in for the next 6 months. Just want to ask, the government has actually given a 600 ringgit subsidy. Okay, how do we go about applying for that for staff? Because that 600, well, for some of these individuals and for it actually will go a long way, okay, in helping them. So how do we go about applying for the 600 ringgit subsidy? Is there a formula out there yet, or we are still waiting for something to be the thing? Got no idea.
I have no idea.
Absolutely no idea. So that's been stated. It's been there since Friday. Because I'm waiting for it. I'm wanting to see exactly what are they proposing. How are we? What's the mechanism like?
Now, just let me comment one thing. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, the government have mentioned that you have to prove that your company revenue has fallen more than 50%. How are we going to prove that? Is it 4 or 50% compared to last month, compared to last year? And if you are not
this month, definitely nothing.
Yeah, this one then. So nothing is that the sales might come in. You might have the sales order, but no money come in. Okay, it might be. And for those micro SMEs, okay, they don't have all this documentation one. How are they going to prove? See, that's why I always mention that the process is not there. And I always say is that even though the government give us a lot of, seems like giving us allocate a 200, 300 billion and so forth, but how much really goes into the market? I don't think a lot, because we do not know what to do. And if we want to do, their officers also not sure what to do. That's my view.
Oh, okay. Alvin, hold on. Alvin, can I just bring you on very quickly? Alvin Tan, right? I'm just going to unmute you for a little while, Alvin.
Hi.
Can you please share with us what you shared on the Perso thing online down there? What is inside there? Alvin, are you here?
Basically, yes. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Hi. So, anyways, this wage subsidy program is open only from today onwards. And
Okay.
from what I know, you can go to prihatin.perkeso.gov.my and the application process should be in there. But the problem is the site is down. So everyone's just waiting for it to come back up. But there are some requirements, like you said. I think one of them was the 50% to prove the 50% revenue drop. So there's a lot of discussions as to how you prove this 50% revenue drop. Because the government's not been so clear. Stated on the website, they wanted you to show from January 2020 until current date 50% drop. But for some industries, it's not possible. A lot of people wouldn't be qualified anyways. So some people are proposing a year-to-year comparison, 2019 January to March compared to 2020 January to March. So still a lot of confusion.
Right. Okay, thank you, Alvin. I'm going to unmute you now. Very much thank you for that comment. I'm going to go to Grace. Gentlemen, please hold on a moment. I'm just going to go to Grace because Grace made another comment, right? Grace Tan, Grace, are you ready? If you can, when I unmute you, please, if you are willing to speak, willing to share, please unmute yourself. If not, then just mute back. Okay, Grace, are you there? Grace Tan?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, can you just tell us exactly what you mean by you got a friend who applied through management account and got approval already, right? And you are saying the comparative month could be from January, March 2019 to January 2020. Okay, update us a little bit on that.
Basically, like, well, so my friend is a HR consultant, and I've been following closely with him as well about this Prihatin application. So, so I also have clients that are asking me the same question.
Okay, what do you do, Grace?
I'm actually an accountant.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right.
So, for my friend here, he just stated that his clients have already got approval just by uploading the management accounts. So in terms of the period, right, that you guys mentioned, like whether or not like it should be December or like how is the comparison should be done, he also mentioned that not necessarily, but best compared to previous year so that you can show that it has a stark reduce in your comparison now, whether or not like you can show a huge drop to 50%. So that's the goal here. Yeah.
Okay. Right. According to Alvin here, thank you very much, Grace. Thank you very much for sharing that. So I got a few the site will be crashing in the next few moments. Everyone's got to be logging in there, right? And Alvin Yo, I'm not confirm. We are not confirming this. I'm just stating what I'm reading in the comment. The 50% drop. There's another condition like staff is having cut or unpaid leave can apply. Is my understanding correct? So I would say, Alvin, you would have to check that on site. Okay. Going back to the gentleman here, right? It is already more than 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour, and I know Dato says he needs to go off for another meeting. So before we close off, okay, I'll just like to ask any further comment or any words of wisdom that you can give all of us here that will ensure that we are going to be okay. Okay, why don't we start with Richard?
I think I want to share is just now mentioning regarding the application to PESO, all right, and regarding the subsidies, all right. I think the comparison between I think the MCO took effect somewhere in March, middle of March. So some of them, the business is still okay in January and February. So if compare between January to March business, I think to have the cap at 50%, I think is a bit too big. I would say, I think the business will be more affected from March onwards. So I believe the period to bring up to the ministry should be actually March, April, and May. That will see a bigger drastic drop for most of the businesses, right? Rather than just between January, February, but some businesses are still going on until mid of March before the MCO take place. So that is one of the things probably Datuk might bring up this during the discussion in the meeting. So of course, at this point of time, everyone, I would say, to stay optimistic is kind of difficult, all right? At the same time, I think to be positive, it's just how to relook how we can survive on, all right? Be more creative in the way we are doing business now, all right? It's a totally different times that we have to change, right? So I think that's about on my side.
Okay. Thank you, Richard, and thank you for coming on, right? And also representing yourself and also FMM here. Much appreciated. Right.
Okay. On my side, a few areas. Number one, for manufacturers who have applied for operation with MITI, if your application still stuck inside, try as much as possible to contact them. I cannot promise anything, but if you have actually submitted, for the SMEs who have submitted, those who are FMM members, FMM will take care of you, okay? Those who are not, if you are in essential goods, those who have submitted, you can actually contact me and I will guide you on what are the possible things that can be done, okay? No promise, but what are the possible things? For the services who are supporting the manufacturers, as I mentioned, please go and get the approval letter from your manufacturers, the approval letter from MITRI, attach it together. And right now, MOT has already allowed you to move around. With the both letters, you should be able to do your business already. So second. Third one is that for the overall businesses, SMEs right now, I know that at home, you have a lot of disturbance and here and there, and every one of us, every hour we have webinar and so forth. But I would strongly encourage you to have at least, whether your staff is working from home or just stay at home, just sleep at home, I would strongly encourage you to have an engagement with them at least once every 2 days, okay? Keeping them updated on what is happening and also to engage them to see how can they help the company to go further. Number fourth is that for the SMEs who have a team of management, it's time for you to have webinar together to discuss of a possible new business model for the coming 6 months or the 1 year. The new business model would have to be would be how to solve the problems of the other SMEs problem during this COVID-19 and how to actually get yourself to be more technological ready, including the digital transformation as well as the small scale industry 4.0. Because if you have already done that before, at this moment, despite that they are MCO, your production will be very minimally affected if you have done the industry 4.0. But because we have not, so let's get ready for that. Last but not least, is that please be prepared with your cash flow. Whatever cash that you have, keep it for the rainy days. The rainy days is already here. Keep it. If you have whatever shares or whatever kind of things, that get as much cash as possible so that you can invest in opportunities that will come within these few months. Continue to identify these opportunities, and with the cash in hand, if you are able to capture it, you will soar to the sky after this COVID-19 crisis. That's all from me.
Right. King Tik, already people are asking you how to get your contact so that they can put in application. So please, you may want to put your contact on the comment section.
Okay.
Right.
First,
Michael.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, I think both of them been telling how I think this is very important, good advice, for the all SME. You can see the polling result. I think still got 26% company SME are business as usual. I think this is good news. For me, I can see that at least got this 26%, I don't need to worry about. The only worry about the close down, I think the 2% also we can't do much, because definitely there is a company close down during this period. Is quite normal. I think the one we have to help is those skill down, at least 50% skill down, 40% this part of this. I think this part, they have to really listen to the advice, like what they have to do, how to gather your cash on hand, as many cash as possible, to make sure you can pass through, study your business, whether it's viable in your current business. Those who are, if you have too many business, please, to streamline your business, focus on those business that are able to generate cash. Don't go into the business we are not able to generate cash, still burning your cash. So that business definitely have to cut down, have to cut away, to wait for the business, other new business coming in. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think there's a crisis, definitely there's opportunity there. Collect cash as many as possible, waiting for the new opportunity. If you are interested in the other new business, currently just focus whatever you have on hand. Go to digitals, go online. Definitely is the trend. It is must go online for the futures. If you want to continue contribute, in the economy. Unless you say no more, I want to shut down. I just go to find a job, to earn the salary. If you continue want to be the boss, this is the way, to go and get ready. If you can, whatever asset you have, revalue all your business, revalue all your assets, either company or personal, see how to go about. As I think everyone know that, Malaysians SME 70% did not take loan from the bank. Those who take loan only 20% to run the business, to use the cash to run the business. Majority SME can't take the loan, did not get the loan because maybe their account problem, or they did not have a good document. They only take personal loan or a loan from others, to run their business. I think this bunch of people, this round, I think is more critical. It's not like 97. 97, those who take loan from the bank, I think those are wind up from during the economic crisis. Those who did not take bank loan, 70% SME survive. That's why we can generate our economy faster. But this round is totally different. This round, those who did not take loan will be the one who affected, because they don't have backup, because their on-hand cash is limited. A lot of SME, when they earn some money, they go and buy property, buy this, buy that. So there are long list of installment they're going to need to install. I think this is the critical for them. Had to remanage your asset, recalculate which is viable, whether we're going to keep or not. It's not, then negotiate with the bank, talk to the bank, see how to go about, and to get your cash on hand as many as possible. This is what I can advise. Don't wait for the government incentive. I think government will definitely come in to help the SME, but how they come in, I'm not sure. I'm still waiting. We're still fighting for all the SME, as many as possible. I think let's do our best and to keep grow Malaysia SME to be our country economy contributors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Right, just a quick roundup from everything. Grace Tan, you remember her speaking just now? She put up a comment on the chat group. The incentive, remember 600. She said it may only be targeted to those staff who have taken unpaid leave during the MCO. That's the understanding. You may want to check on that, okay? Alvin Tan, thank you for saying this. For workers who have taken more than 30 days unpaid leave, that is under a separate program. So he has actually put up a link for that program under Progresso.
Yeah.
Look into that, right? Tamil, right? Right, I know Tamil. Tamil had put up that a lot of leaders here need to relook at how we're leading in this crisis. So please have a look at what HRDF had put up for the HRDF leadership webinar. I know a lot of learnings out there. MDEC is also coming up with the whole series, right? But my last word is to this. I would like to thank all the gentlemen here, okay? People like Richard from FMM, but especially to Dato' Michael and King Tek for doing what you have done for us. First, I know all of you have your own business to run, okay? You are worried about certain things, but at the same time, you are still reaching out to all of us here to assist us in our business, and at the same time, taking a risk every single day, especially people like Dato', going out there, meeting all the ministries, meeting all the relevant people in order to keep all the SME alive. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please give them a round of applause, even silently a clap, right? Thank you very much. And for those of you who want to know more about SME Malaysia, right, please go to www.smemalaysia, okay, .org, okay, www.smemalaysia.org, right? With that, gentlemen, my full appreciation. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and we really hope that all our hard work, our comments to the government have been listened to, taken heed to, and let's pray for a good, stimulus package later on in the day. Okay, with that, I'm signing off. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Anyone who can help in my business, call me. Help me.